Cass and I be having some heated conversations. We be having some conversations, and I was just like, we need to have these conversations online, so that people can like really hear real conversations between a man and a woman, and a man and woman's in relationships, and just the polarity of how men think and how women think. Like, and so it just kind of happened organically, because today I was just driving to go to the grocery store, which I'm in my car in front of the grocery store, and I was just compelled to just go live. I said, I don't know what the hell I'm going to talk about. I'm just going to go live, and look what happened, Quetzal.
I
We
know.
on camera airing all our dirty laundry, dirty panties, and everything else online. And but it's beautiful.
Well, hey,
You and
everybody got dirty laundry, right? It's just we just sharing it.
Yeah, we just sharing it, and it's okay that people can judge you and I, because I've seen comments and they were judging you and stuff, and it's
Yeah.
okay. Let them, because they might have had a perception of you that wasn't really who you are. So now it's like we are freeing ourselves from these perceptions that people think, and then letting
Yeah.
them see the truth, and you can sit with it if you want to.
Well, I
Um,
mean, especially like on social media, it's sometimes it's challenging to show all aspects of yourself. And for me, I think that like you've seen me like fully like naked, not just physically, but you know the way I express myself. Like, but
yeah,
online, it's like it's limited to what you show people, and so yeah, I think it's a good chance to like show people like deeper parts of ourselves. Um, because there's nothing to hide, it's just but there's also certain instances that allow you to share more of yourself. So with you, I think because we know each other, like I will show myself more through our conversations, but these are conversations that we always have all the time. But also it just helps to like have an audience, changes the dynamic a little bit because
yeah. Go ahead.
you get to hear other perspectives as well, and also you become conscious of like like that there people are hearing both sides, because often like we live in our head where we're only on hearing our side, really. Even if we're talking to somebody and arguing with our significant other, we're like stuck on our side. So for somebody to observe you objectively with like no dog in the fight, as they say, they can have input that could perhaps shed some light on an angle that you're not looking at it from.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, yeah, it's really, y'all. If this live, if my phone heats up again, I'm gonna just get off and just go. Um,
but
but
but also like everybody online, a lot of people, I should say, just it's like this a false illusion of like relationships don't come with challenges, don't come with real shit, and so it doesn't help people who are engaging in relationships to see everybody online like, oh, we're so in love, everything is so perfect, we never argue, life is just amazing, like, because it makes you feel like, damn, am I crazy? Because like I be going through shit in my relationship, like maybe I should leave and find another relationship, because apparently there's relationships out there that don't go through anything and there's just eternal bliss. So it
yeah,
just creates this false illusion of like of an ideal for a relationship that ain't real, like, bro, like, and just because you go through shit doesn't mean that relationship isn't something that you should be in, or isn't something that's benefiting, or isn't something that's nourishing you, because it's just reality, it's life. Like if you peered into life and you only wanted it to be the good shit, like you wouldn't chose to come here, because this life, this reality is filled with challenges, it's filled with the darkness and the light. That's what we're talking about, the polarities, the masculine and the feminine, the
yeah,
primal and the transcendental. Like we came here to embrace all of it. So of course it's easy to be in relation to one another when you're in eternal bliss. But what happens when life, challenges you? Like that's when you gotta be equipped to endure, and so I think through these conversations of showing people real shit like that, people in relationships go through, it could help people to see that they're not alone, that that this is a normal part of relating to one another, especially because we're polarities. And so, our perspectives come from two different angles. And so where we converge, like sometimes there's static, sometimes there's friction.
Yeah, and like, so it was, I think it was a couple of people in the previous comments that were saying, y'all, it doesn't have to be complicated, just don't be together. And I think that is the issue as to
Yeah.
why there's a battle between man and woman and masculine and feminine energy. It's because when things get uncomfortable, they're like, oh, I'm just going to leave
You
everything
leave.
go. But didn't you say that you wanted to be in a relationship? Didn't you say you wanted to be in love? Didn't you say you wanted to share your life with someone? Well, this incompatibility, which is supposed to happen between a man and woman because we're polarity, we're not the fucking same, it's requiring you to expand. So Quetzal and
Nope.
I, we are deciding to stay together because it's not just about us. Our relationship is bigger than us. How me and him feel is way bigger than that. Like, and plus we have a child together, and we put our own selfish needs aside for the most part because our relationship is bigger than how we feel, and we know these uncomfortable moments is wanting us to grow. Quetzal said he is this type of man and he's capable, so this relationship was given to him to show him how much capable are you. You're in a relationship, you are a leader now, you have responsibility of two people, and when the time gets going for you to show up as that man, it's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be pleasing. It's not going to be exactly how you want, because first of all, you ain't never done this before. So how are you supposed to know who you supposed to be in this relationship? And even with me as a woman, a mother, it's like, I chose this and it's uncomfortable. And just because him and I don't get along all the time, just because every season we're ready to break up, that's because we're ready to end the season that we're in and we're going into the new season of our relationship. And that's why Quetzal and I keep thriving. That's why when you see me and Quetzal, we look totally different. We look good. His hair long, my hair long, our skin glistening. It's because him and I are going through the season. Yeah, I can y'all plenty of reasons why I don't want to be with Quetzal. Got a whole book about him. why I don't want to be with you. But that don't got nothing to do with me. Everything I'm saying about you, Quetzal, you are my mirror. You are my mirror showing me the parts of myself that I'm not owning up to, the parts of myself that I don't know how to love. So when I see it in you, I hate it. And it's not you that I hate. It's that part of myself that I still have not accepted and forgiven and loved.
Yeah.
And, well, hey, you
But
know,
but Grace, it shouldn't be this hard. That's what
you
people
know
say,
what?
right?
It shouldn't be. Life should be easy for me, and I should get whatever I want because I'm a queen. I'm a black Nubian queen goddess, and everything should just be easy. Okay, if you're a queen and goddess, life is going to require you to expand to become that queen. Life is going to expand for you to become that goddess. You say you're a goddess, but when shit hit the fan and when it's time for you to show up, are you still a goddess? Are you a victim? Like, come on, like, cause we call ourselves these things. I said I'm a wife or a partner, whatever day you and I decide to call each other husband and wife. Then life is going to make me become that. You said I'm a wife, so now you're going to have to go through what a wife will go through. Now you're going to have to go through what a mother has to go through. It's not going to be pleasing. Quetzal didn't come into my life to make it easy. Quetzal came into my life to help me grow and become more of who I really am and to really show me how to love myself. Because before Quetzal, y'all, I did not know how to love myself. And then being in a relationship with a man that did not make it a priority to love me, I had to decide to make that priority to love me. Okay, I had to show him what that looked like, but it wasn't personal. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I realized the way that you was treating me in my head was never personal. It wasn't personal what you were doing to me. You were also on your journey, and we just so happened to collide on the paths and be like, hey, you want to go together? All right, let's keep going. But it didn't change the fact of what your soul has called you to become. It's just that now your soul was like, you know what? She's going to help you get there. Good luck.
Yeah.
You know,
But you
oh,
said
choosing.
something of about like people get in relationships, and then when shit gets hard, there's challenges, they just
Yes.
want to leave, right? And I think it's because people don't look at relationships as, they don't have this aspect of duty and responsibility. So
Yeah.
it's a big responsibility to be tasked with working on a relationship, to be tasked with overcoming challenges within a relationship,
Yeah.
to keep a relationship stable and structured. Like, that's a duty that requires effort and consciousness on your part to make that happen. So because people don't have that element anymore, they they won't take responsibility for what they need to do to make that relationship work, or to work out issues with the relationship. So the only thing that becomes a option is to leave. I'll just leave, because it's not, I don't, because I don't see responsibility and duty as a factor in a relationship. I'm supposed to just find the one that doesn't require me to have responsibility. Like, that's how people are looking at it, right? When, like, this shit is a big responsibility. Family is responsibility. Like, that's what becoming an adult is, becoming a parent, becoming an elder. The more you do that, you're kind of climbing the ladder of responsibility to gain more and more responsibility, to become more and more equipped. But because we fail to go through that phase, like, we're like in this immature state of thinking that we should have whatever we want and never have to be responsible for anything, never have to take accountability for anything. It's always somebody else's fault. Just like you hear people in relationships, like, why do I always get in relationships with narcissistic men, or why are all the women only after me for whatever X, Y, and Z? Like, you always hear people, they don't get it. They don't get it, that they don't see that all these relationships are the main common denominator is you, right? Like, they're always pointing the finger at the other person. So they think the answer is to, and at some point, as you jump from relationship to relationship, that at some point you're going to find the perfect partner that aligns and gives you everything perfectly, and you never have to challenge yourself to work through challenges. And that's just not the case. And so, like, me and you getting on here just showing people, like, no, it's work and it's okay. That's part of it. You have to talk, have difficult conversations. Sometimes it's going to feel like you should break up, but still you should remain and work on it. And if you do have to, well, okay, but I just think that that's like the default now. The default is to break up. It's not to work on it. The default nowadays is like that. That's the first response. The first instinct is to leave.
Yeah.
When it's like, the hell is Zen doing?
That's your responsibility.
Is that the neighbor?
Remember, you have a child.
Nah, it's because I heard a vacuum, but
Oh,
probably in
my
here just
God.
chilling.
He's in the.
No, I think I was a neighbor.
Oh.
Oh yeah, he's chilling.
I'm chilling, Mama.
You're chilling?
He just chilling.
I'm just chilling.
Just chill.
Please give me some fresh garbage truck.
You know what, Zen? Because you chilling, I'm gonna get you a present.
She's gonna get you a present, Zen.
Yeah.
You excited?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna be outside. Let me know if you need me. All right. He's
See, that's what
chilling.
I'm talking about, Quetzal. Like, just
I know,
all the hard work you and I put in. Like, our little boy's only 3 years old, and he is so solid within himself because we poured ourselves into him. And he's just in there. You didn't even know he was gone. He in the house chilling because he know he's being taken care of, and that's just what it has been about for you and I. Once we had him, we made our family a priority, even though we didn't want to, because you and I can be quite selfish and sensitive at times. But at the end of the day, the thing that you and I definitely have in common is to live life on purpose and to be the best parents that we possibly can be. And for you and I, the best parenting is for you and I to be in Zen's life, because I don't know about you. I don't want another man raising our child. Maybe you want no woman being his mama, but I don't want you to have a stepdaddy.
Yeah.
Zen is a lot. And so you and I, we have to put up with him because we're his parents. But I don't feel like there's another man's responsibility to be raising our son to be a man. And I just feel like I don't think another woman can truly love Zen the way that I do. And so, and she doesn't have to, you know?
Yeah,
And so I
yeah,
think
yeah.
about,
I think it's really,
about that.
yeah, it's really hard to find. Like, I don't know, you can't replace like parents. You know, like there's people that might step in and care for a child, but it's just something about that biological
Yeah.
connection that is strong. Even in people who have like really good step parents, there's a lot of times still like this driving, even just curiosity to want to connect with where they come from. But I mean, the way we live, like we just live so close to one another that that connection is there regardless, because we sleep together. Like we live in very close quarters. Like we don't spend large amounts of times away from each other. Like probably the longest time that you spent away from us is when you go shopping, when you go into
Yeah.
town to get groceries or whatever, or I go to hunt, or I spend the day out like that. But aside from that, like we're like in the same environment, like 24/7, just fully immersed in each other's presence. So it's like a whole different way. It's not like I go to work every day for 8 hours or 9 hours and that's just a regular thing. Like no, like we're always together.
Always. And I think that really helps. Okay, people are asking questions. Okay. So it says, how do you stop feeling inadequate for your partner? You can go first.
Oh, we're doing Q&A.
Well, so asking questions.
I don't know. You answer that.
Oh, you don't feel inadequate?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I think our dynamic is a little bit different because like you're older than me and you've had more experience in relationships and stuff like me. You've even been married, like at some point.
Yeah.
So my sense of inadequacy in our relationship is maturity. Like sometimes I think that I am being called to rise to a level of maturity that you're at. So that's kind of where my inadequacies come up, to where I feel like I need to step up and be more mature, more
Yeah.
experienced, more developed in a lot of areas of our relationship. So yeah, that would be my answer. And I guess how I deal with that is rising to the occasion, like pushing myself to make sure that I am coming through in those areas of life, and using that as a catalyst to grow. Because it is a tremendous opportunity as well, like to have somebody who has wisdom and understanding in certain areas of life that you don't. But like I feel like it's like inverse. Like that's kind of unfortunate for you in a way, because sometimes you might want somebody who has your level of experience in certain areas or even more, or that is kind of teaching you. But for me, like I just use it as a catalyst to rise to that level.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think that I be thinking like that. Like I just think I see the best in you, and I want you to attain that. I don't be like, I wish I was with somebody older, because that's not, or somebody that has just as much experience as me, because I don't think that's the remedy. I just, just know that this is where you are, and there's a lot of things I appreciate about you that I focus on, instead of focusing on what I don't like, because that's really easy to do, to just be like, I don't like this, I don't like that. But I just do my best to think about the things that you are providing. And for me, how do I stop feeling inadequate for you is I mind my business. When I start feeling inadequate, I means I'm focusing too much on you, and I need to pour back into me.
Yeah.
And when I start feeling inadequate, say for example with love, and I want to receive love, I know the best thing to do is to give it, because I've already been equipped with love. Our love is already with me. So I'll find ways to show you that. Because I want love, I'll show it, versus being like, no, I gotta wait till he decides to love me to be able to experience it. And I know you are love. So if you really want it, show that. So that's also, what I do. But for the most part, when I'm feeling inadequate, that just means that I'm more in tune to you than myself. And, you
Yeah.
know, that's when I might pull away a little bit because I'm doing too much.
Right.
Hmm. Oh, and if somebody says, is that healthy? Do you think space isn't needed? It's not that it's healthy or unhealthy. It's just that we do have space. We definitely made sure that we have space. Before we didn't. But I think the reason why people, this is just my opinion based on my experience, if
Yeah.
Quetzal, Zen, and I didn't get into the situation that we were in currently, we probably wouldn't have established this bond. But because we lived in a one room house, we were always together, we were forced to be with each other. We were forced to see each other. We were forced to work on ourselves. We could not run away. We could not hide. He couldn't run off to his job. I couldn't run off to my mama's house.
Right.
We had to sit there and face each other. Now we own a 1 acre property, so there's plenty of space to like just walk away and pause, but you still gotta come back to whatever you're avoiding. And now we have 2 cabins. So now he has the office, a studio, and then we have the main house, but we were ready for that. And our life provided for us so that we can now have these 2 properties because we have grown into our development to be able to receive it, because Quetzal and I, we definitely have a better relationship. We're definitely communicating more. Zen's older now, and so we just trust each other more, I should say, to where it's like you know what to do. Like, you know what I mean? I
Yeah.
don't know if trust is the word, but we definitely had to work for additional space, because I know if you and I were in a 2 bedroom house, in the way our relationship started, you would have shut yourself up in the office. You
Yeah, and
wouldn't
that's
have gone
that's
at
kind of what
all.
happens, you know, in people who have like large homes or they have a bunch of rooms. Like everybody's just in their room, in their own little world, and people just come out of their room just to go get something to eat or to go to the kitchen or go to the bathroom. But you know, in this situation, it's like we do exist really closely, but there's still a sense of like space, because there is physical space available for us to like go walk in the yard or go in a tent or
Yeah.
another part of the property. But I think that sometimes that serves against people, like having too much space or having a place to kind of isolate yourself, you know, because then you stop being connected, and that's why people struggle with community so much, and they want to be private. You know, it's like it's all about privacy. Like I just want to be
Yeah.
private, 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 and that's why people suppress a bunch of shit, and that's why people don't talk about and just come and be open, because they don't practice openness in their life. Everything is closed off, is segregated, and you know, and just disconnected. You know, and so I see the benefit in it. I know it's a transition. Like if you come from a world where you're used to having everything on your own and you don't have to
Hmm.
consider nobody, but you know, I think it's a healthy part of being human is learning to operate and live within the constraints of a community. You know.
Hmm. 444 Danielle asks, "Do you feel like serenity?" By the way, my name is Grace. You
Big.
two names in. Okay. Do you feel like serenity leads because it's older?
Oh, you want me to answer?
What? I feel like that question's for you.
Oh, okay. I was gonna let you lead. Um, I think in certain aspects, definitely. I'm also learning to just acknowledge that there is certain areas where it benefits me and her for her to lead in, you know, and so I think that's part of also leadership is recognizing where there's stronger traits in other people, you know, and allowing them to exhibit those traits and to lead in whatever it is that is. Like I think she has a lot of wisdom and intuition that I benefit from. I think she has a lot of organizational skills that I benefit from, and yeah, so I definitely have learned to embrace that and to allow that to play out, you know. But I don't think it's like this 100% thing, like she's leading everything or I'm leading everything. It's just certain areas and strong suits I think that we have that were in leadership in those parts of ourselves.
Well, when I read that, the first thing I said in my head was because of our energy. See, my energy is masculine.
Yeah.
So it may appear like I'm leading because my energy naturally propels out. I'm naturally on it. I'm naturally expressing. I'm just, so it may appear like I'm leading, which I could be, but Quetzal's energy is fire and earth, and he's predominantly Virgo energy. So Quetzal, his energy naturally goes in. And he's a Taurus, right? Well, my rising is Virgo. But Virgo is about handling shit too, so it doesn't really help me with the fire and air. But Quetzal, you're a Taurus rising, so Quetzal's, how he starts off things is slow. He's not a reactor. He So just because I might react first doesn't necessarily mean I'm leading. I'm just reacting first. But Quetzal, his energy, and this is something that I had to learn. I had to learn this with you, that Quetzal is a great leader. It's just that he got to sit with it and think and review all the details in it. And then, but if you want Quetzal to give you a response right then and there, you want him to react. Nah, he's going to seem like he's not a leader, like he's not even present, and like he don't even know. But that's not true. It's just that your energy requires you to go in, and with your mind, you have Mercury and Virgo. You're just able to just see all the different parts to it, and then act from that space. So
Yeah.
that's how you just lead differently to me. I'm just more like, I just think on the spot, and you take your time thinking,
Yeah, that's true.
So that's how I look at it.
That's true.
Yeah. Oh, y'all so kind. Just seeing if there's any more questions. But yeah, this was good. I'm just very thankful that. Oh, she said we have an emotional space. Yeah, definitely. When I need space, we definitely give each other space. But it's just that on our day-to-day routine, we're always together 24/7. It's not like he goes off to work or I go off to work. Our child goes to daycare. No, we're together. We're in each other's equilibrium at all times. It's like that's just how it goes, and we're okay with that. Like we're definitely okay with that, but we definitely know how to give each other space. Like right now, we're not on the phone talking. you know. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't. Somebody asked the question. It's Jeffrey said, "You both are on the evolution trajectory. Any advice for those still stuck in the old ways of gender racial divides?" I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, I don't know what that means
I don't know
specifically.
what that means either. That's why I said you can
Yeah,
answer
but
it.
well, we tend to look at things more from an energetic perspective. Like even if we're talking masculine and feminine, there is more of an energetic perspective to it. Even when we're talking about race, so-called race, like I personally try to disconnect myself from. There's a lot of shit that is tied up to with race. There's a lot of resentment. There's a lot of ideologies that don't serve us a lot of times when we identify with specific in race and stuff. So for me, like, um, it helps me to just zoom out and look at things like from an energetic perspective, from a humanity perspective, like not villainizing anything specifically, just trying to understand all of it. So yeah, I look at life like as yeah, like at this journey, this journey of growth and self-development, evolution, and understanding of this reality, this realm. I'm not here to demonize or get caught up in that shit. Like I feel like that's very surface level, and people suffer because of that understanding or that perspective, because it's self-induced. It's self-induced. Like I was making a video about this, talking about oppression and how oppression is like a spirit. that overcomes people, you know. And when you let the spirit of oppression overcome you, everything that you see is oppression. You know, you can look at a very benign situation and you will only see the oppressiveness behind it. And I just think that that's a part of humanity. Like, I don't look at it as as a system thing, like the system is oppressing or this culture is oppressive or colonization is oppressive. I think it's a part of humanity. I think humanity, as a human, you have the potential to embody that spirit, and if you let it overcome you, you'll look at life like everything is impossible, everything's oppressive. If only we could go back to a time, or if only the system could be dismantled. There's always like something blocking you from experiencing and enjoying life, you know, right? And so I just realized like that was a big part of me at some point, and I just decided to let that go and not play out that narrative, because it wasn't helping me. It wasn't helping me in my life. And, you know, so yeah, so I think when I zoom out, I just look at everything as energy. That's the long ass answer.
And somebody asked, do we always sleep in a tent every night? Yes.
Yeah, pretty much, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so what's good with you? You're gonna answer that?
What? Answer what?
Oh, I thought you were answering the question too.
No, I think that you answered it. Some things,
Yeah.
you know. Somebody said more children in the future. You know, we'll see. I've had about three miscarriages since then. So it's like, I don't know if it's in the cards for us or not, and like I'm okay with it. Like, but we'll
Hey,
see.
somebody said we should do a couples retreat.
But you know what? Maybe we will one day. You know, but that's why Quetzal and I, we're coming online because, you know, community is very important for Quetzal and I. Like, we see the value of community. So even like with Quetzal, um, idolizing polygamy, I still understand his point. It's that he's just wanting community. He don't want to just share his life just with me and Zen. He wants people in his life. And when I went home with you to your family, I was like, I understand why you really value community, because your family is beautiful. They're so supportive and kind and connecting. So I understand why you desire, you know, what you desire, you know? And so that's one reason why we haven't given up on the idea of community and that vision and stuff. And so I don't know where I was going with that. I don't even.
The couples retreat.
Oh, the couples retreat.
Yeah.
So the reason
Somebody said they
why.
would. Somebody said they would come, and a couple of people said they would come, and Renee said she would drag her boyfriend along with her.
Well, okay. My point, what I'm saying is that Quetzal and I are opening ourselves to start coming to you guys transparently, because we don't want you to then come to our retreats or either be a part of our community and you're not seeing who we really are. Like, you gonna come and like, oh well, you different than you was online. Online you seem one way, and then in person you seem another. So that's
Yeah.
why him and I are opening ourselves to really show people who we really are, because we really want to attract the people in our lives that resonates with who we actually are, flaws and all, child. Okay, not just like this perfect image that you guys may project on us at times, but no, we're real people. You know, we're real people going through real shit. And so that's why we open ourselves today to just have this conversation. You know, even though Kes and I already had this conversation and we moved through, we still just decided to talk about it. And it's very therapeutic for me to come on camera and cry. Like, my moon is Leo in the 12th house, okay? So I
Yeah.
love just, you know, sharing my emotions in a dramatic way. You know, but it's real. It's a real space. So yeah, so um we open ourselves to that, and y'all can connect with us in that with a couples retreat. Oh, somebody said, Chrissy said, I missed the beginning of this, but are you airing your dirty laundry because you were separating, or are you working on your we doing damage control? Why are we doing damage control? Well, the thing is, Quetzal, the reason why she would even ask that is because people do that. They do. They people come online all the time and be saying stuff. No,
Uh,
and then eventually they break up. I mean, Quetzal and I, we don't intend to break up, but we're open to the possibilities of our expansion. So even though to some people it might seem like we're attached to each other, no, this is what expansion looks like. Quetzal and I are expanding. We were attached to each other at some point that wasn't serving us. That's why Quetzal was like, well, you used to believe this before. Now you don't, and you ain't about this. Yeah, because I was attaching myself to you just to be an attachment. But now you no longer an attachment to me. And so that's why I'm opening myself and letting you be free. And vice versa. Because, and this is what it looks like. It's not comfortable, but this is what it looks like. But yeah, we definitely are always working on our relationship with each other and ourselves and our son. So
yeah.
I'm just saying, and if we don't have no more questions, we can go.
Yeah, I didn't realize, like, I guess got caught in the bubble of our relationship. That it makes me curious if other people are doing what we're doing right now in their relationship, or if they have this kind of dynamic where they can have these conversations, or are they having these conversations? Like, I would love to know that, because this is something
Yeah,
that we do, like, even off camera. Like, we're always working and talking and growing and just diving into different topics that can help us, like, evolve, so I would love to know, like, what other people's experiences in their relationships is like.
yeah. Because you know what, Castle? You know what, Castle? Because you and I stay together and we're doing the hard shit. This is what is solidifying you and I to be of service to the people. Because if you and I just left each other because it was hard, we didn't want to, then we definitely couldn't come on here to be of service to anybody. Because we didn't go through the experience, we didn't go through the hardship. This is qualifying you and I. So this is why we're able to come online and share our wisdom and tell you guys what you should be doing because of our experience.
Yeah.
I thought somebody was breaking into the car uh, while I'm in it.
Better have situational awareness.
But you know what I'm saying? So because of me living this life with you, it has really helped me be more of service to other people in relationships, because it's like I've been there, I've been in it. I know how you feel, child. I know how it feels to be in a relationship with somebody that you don't get along with. I know how it feels to be in a relationship with someone that y'all do not know how to communicate, and you do not know how to communicate with this man to where he will listen to you or hear you at least, and vice versa. You know how it feels to be with a woman that thinks she know everything. So it's like, you know what I mean? So it's just like
You have a
it's
lot of
not.
experience in that.
I'm just your mirror. So you know what I'm saying? We know how it feels to be in a relationship with a child, with a toddler. We know how it feels to be in a relationship when the love and passion isn't there. We know how to be in a relationship to get the love and passion back. Like we going through all this. This relationship has nothing to do with being canceled. It's just the said we're in our purpose. We said we're living life on purpose, and this is our purpose, and this is life molding us and chipping away the pieces to truly allow us to be the vessel that light can use. Light
Yeah.
cannot use you when you get buckled under pressure, when you run away from pain, when you're afraid to fail or afraid of rejection. Life can't use you. Like well, you just give up too easy. I can't use you for what is to become of you. I can't, because you can't even handle this moment. You can't even see the blessed in this discomfort that you're in, and what is trying to get you to let go of and to become. And that's what me and Kessel been just experiencing close to 5 years now. Like, we chiseling away the shit that don't serve us, you know. And
Yeah.
that's just how life is sometimes. Oh, Jeffrey said he coming to Hawaii. Can he say hi?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, y'all
Hi.
come and hang out with us and visit us. Yeah, come on. Okay, let me see.
Girl, if you don't go grocery shopping, we ain't gonna get no groceries today, huh?
I know. Let's see. I guess no more. We've been together since 2017. I'm so thankful Renee, the bidet. Bidet. I don't know how. Renee. I'm thankful. She said this live was very healing.
Yeah. It's a beautiful day.
I know it really is. Oh, Sacred Justice, do you feel opening up to polygamy will support your relationship? No, because basically if I say polygamy will help me with something, that's just like me looking to outside source, looking to the external to source me with something that's within. Because I gotta ask myself, what is it about polygamy that I think will support my relationship? Why do I need something outside of myself to improve this relationship? Now, if you just have a preference in being polygamous or polyamorous, that's one thing. Not everybody is designed to be monogamous. But if you're looking to it as the solution to your problems, then you know different than a person that's saying that I'm going to go get that alcohol to soothe my pain. You're not willing to face yourself. So that's
Oh,
that's that's my. Go ahead.
but also at the same time, it's like because you just said that this relationship has helped you grow and expand, right? So it was something that
Yeah.
within your by yourself, like you weren't able to have maybe get to the point where you're at now because through those experiences, through relating. And I'm not making an argument for it. I'm just saying, like,
Yeah. I know what you're about to
um,
say.
huh?
I said I know where you're going with this.
Well, it's a reality because if it exists within our relationship, then it'll exist within any relationship. That, but it doesn't have to be through polygamy, but it could be through because this is my same argument for community.
Yeah.
Being in community helps you grow because other people reflect you to yourself, and the more people that you reflect you to yourself helps you to see parts of yourself that you wouldn't otherwise be able to see. So
Well,
I can
you
see.
can see that with everything, though.
Right. But being in relation to somebody in close proximity is a different thing, right? And especially
Yeah.
being in relationship to somebody who's on the same path as you, who has the same understanding, who's going to be able to, because it's like, okay, yeah, you're relating to your coworkers, but are you going to sit there and talk about the shit that we've been talking about today? Probably not,
Oh
or not
no.
at the level that we're talking about it. That's what I'm saying. Like, so having others around you, and it doesn't have to be relating in a sexual way, but just relating to others who are understanding your mind and where you're coming from
Yeah.
can help you see parts of yourself that can potentially make you help you grow. That's what I'm saying. Like, so
Yeah.
because otherwise then you could say like, well, then you don't need people, you can just grow by yourself in a cave somewhere, and I mean maybe, but also
But see, this is where. But like, get this, Quetzal. Get this. Let me get this though. But this is why women says, well, if that's the case, well, why can't we have another husband? So that's when we put it back on you men, because you're like you're not realizing that how it affects women to have to bring in another woman, because it's not affecting you in that way. But if I
yeah.
say, okay, well, I'm going to take that same philosophy that you're saying about that, because you're absolutely right. I know that we'll learn something and grow being a polygamous relationship, and I'm like, okay, well, what about we bring in another man? You're definitely going to learn something, and then that's when that's resistance coming. That's all women are saying.
Yeah.
Honor and respect my resistance, and don't put it down and say it's a generational curse, or I'm not willing to grow
It's
when you
inspiration.
when you don't want to do it either. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
You don't want another man in my tent. So it's like, why are you putting that on me? Like, I'm just supposed to be wanting to have another woman when it's like, look, bro, I don't. It's like, just like you don't want another man. Like,
Well,
like you will
I mean,
grow. You will grow. You with your brother.
right. I mean, yeah, I wasn't making an argument for that, and I think that situation is more complex. Like that's a whole topic for itself.
Really?
Yeah, I was just saying that,
Yeah.
like if you say that that being, because all of a polygamous relationship is just more people, right?
Yeah.
So if you say that more people wouldn't help you grow, you can't say that one person can't help you grow. So you have to at least acknowledge that there would be growth from that situation, regardless if you want to participate in it or not. And also acknowledge that that can also be established through other ways, such as community, in ways that isn't non-sexual or not relating in that way. You can just have other people around you that are close that help you grow as well. That's all I was saying.
Yeah,
But
I
obviously,
think that I was at one point open to polygamy because that's why I ended up going to carbonation, because I was just like, okay, I'm okay, that makes sense to me. We build the kingdom. Yep, polygamy. Like, I understood it. So I think because I've experienced it already, and the experience was the experience that I had, I
yeah,
think that unfortunately is what I'm basing it on. Now I know every situation is different. I know if you and I had another woman, it would be different. Like, I know that, but I guess for me, just what I gained out of that situation, I'm just like, in a way, I see my life now, because before, when I made that choice to be polygamous, I wasn't a mother. I was single. I was out here. I
yeah,
didn't have no other responsibility. So now that I'm a mom, I ain't thinking like that. I ain't thinking about just doing that type of stuff, bringing in another person in our intimate relationship. A community is different. And you know that, because, when we were in a community, it was intimate, but then there was a space for you and I when it was just you and me. We had to,
yeah,
you didn't have to talk to no one while you were there, which you didn't. But when it was you and I, that was our own container. So what I'm saying, that now that we added Zen in our container, you see the difference that it has made with us. And yes, it's growth. But then when I think about another woman, I'm not only considering me and you, I'm considering Zen too. I'm just like, I'm just, my mind, I'm just more grounded in my mind, to where I'm not really trying to be a trisexual anymore. Like, I'm not really, as I used to be. I tried and they once. Now it's like my priorities are just different now.
yeah.
So I don't want anybody to think that I'm anti polygamy or anything like that. I'm just like, my priority is not there anymore because of what I have,
Yeah,
like,
and I also
already.
think, like, in cultures where that was a practice, it
Yeah.
was something that like occurred like situationally based off of that particular situation, right? Like, so even in some like indigenous cultures, it was like a woman would get to like a certain age where
Yeah.
her biological clock was running out, so another man would take her in as a means for her to reproduce and have children and have a family. But it wasn't like this idea that's being propagated today, where it's like a lot of men are just exercising their fantasies and their own ego to try and using this like as an excuse to do that, right? But yeah, like somebody said, like most men aren't financially, uh, emotionally, and
Yeah.
all these things equipped to even engage in that kind of relationship. So yeah, it's just I think it's confusing to a lot of people, because we want like this black and white answer, like, well, is monogamy the truth, is polygamy the truth? And it's just like, no, like,
Yeah.
it's all the truth essentially, because it's all happening and it's all a possibility. But it goes back to the individual knowing yourself, and really being in tune with each person that you relate to, and seeing how that works and how that plays out, rather than like demonizing one or saying one's the answer, like, because we've seen toxic and healthy versions
Yeah.
of each one, of all these things. So yeah,
Yeah.
so that, I mean, it's a good conversation.
Yeah, it definitely is a good conversation. And I'm so proud of us that you and I are able to talk about it, and I'm able to, like, say what I want, and you're able to say what you want and stuff. And, like I said, Quetzal, something that you truly, I just believe in, and I like what Jeffrey said. Where did it go? Jeffrey said, I can't even scroll. Jeffrey said, trust in source.
Yeah.
And the bottom line, that's really all I'm doing is trusting in the source of who I am. So that's why I'm like, I don't ever want anybody to have to change who they are to love me or be in my life. And it's like, Quetzal, you know what you willing to provide. You know what you want as well. And you know what I'm saying? And I think, and I want you to always go for that. And that's also what I'm going to our son Zen is to be who you really are. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to teach him like this is how you're supposed to do it. Like, no, I intend to teach him to trust himself to know what he wants. When it comes to these types of things and stuff. And, you and I, we're just figuring it out because we came into the conditioning, and so then we broke out of that mode, and we're figuring that shit out like organically and stuff. So that's why it doesn't have a homogenized shape to it and a form to it, because we're just like figuring it out how it goes and stuff. And so that's why I just told you, I was like, don't change who you are to love me, bro. I do not want that type of love. I want somebody to love me because it's a natural thing to do. Like, I want, what I mean? And it's okay. And also, how I was able to accept you is because as a man, you have different desires as a woman. So I can't
Yeah.
sit here and be like, Quetzal, you need to think like I think. You need to want what I want. As a man is different. And this is why
Right.
I went into that territory of polarity. And this is why I went into that territory of what it means to be a woman. Because I think Jeffrey asked something about gender. I do believe there is some context to gender. I'm not that person that be like, gender don't matter. No, it does. Gender and feminine, masculine does matter. And now, not to everyone, but to me, I'm definitely seeing the result of the polarity and accepting you as a man, accepting that just because as a man you desire a woman and you're looking at her, that it doesn't mean anything. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean anything about me,
Right.
you know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And I think, yeah, there's just certain biological things that are so ingrained, but they're not the end all be all. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, but at the same time, you are responsible for how you deal with them, like if you take action on them or not. Like, if I could look at a woman and think she's attractive, that's one thing, but then if I choose to take action on that, well, that's a different thing, because now that's going to have an impact on my relationship, my current situation. So there's it's not just like knowing your nature, but also understanding that there's consequences to everything. And yeah, I feel like we should get off, like, because it's about to be one, and
I know, I haven't even started shopping yet.
so I'm just gonna cut you off and say, like, it's a good conversation. Thank you to everybody in the room, and we will have more of these in the future.
I know, but this is how we are though at home. We keep talking. He and I be talking. We wasted so much time talking to each other, so now we just put it on camera.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go. I gotta go grocery shopping. Should I save this live, because I thought the first one was good. This was just,
Yeah, somebody asked for you to save it, so at least one person wants the live.
Okay.
Yeah, girl, I need you to go get us some groceries and some
I
food.
know.
I'm hungry.
Well, at least Zen is chilling. At least Zen is chilling in his space and ain't thinking about you. He's just like, I'm good
I
now.
know.
All right. I love
All
you.
right.
I love
Love
everybody
you.
else.